Hey guys, welcome to the Superhero Cut Show where we're talking all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, joined by Jerry. And today we're here to talk to you guys about the Russos and Avengers because there was big news that came out from the Hollywood trades. And when news comes out from the Hollywood trades, it means that it is true. And so the news that came out is that the Russos are back in Marvel. Okay, now this is the biggest news that we honestly have gotten all year, to be honest. And so I'm going to read these two things. The first thing is this: the Russos are being brought into the fold at Marvel Studios on various fronts. First priority will be directing both Avengers sequels, and then obviously the main one that everyone is going nuts about is the Russo Bros are officially in talks to direct the next two Avengers films. So this is really, really, really big news, and I'm gonna let Jerry get into it first. But I just want to say, man, the Russos are the greatest MCU directors to ever touch a superhero film in history. The fact that they gave us Winter Soldier, the fact that we got Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame, the fact that they've written Spider-Man better than anyone else that has done a Marvel or that has done a MCU
And
show,
Thor.
and Thor. The way every character, honestly, the way that they
Yep.
managed over 50 characters, okay, in a span of two movies is something that has never been done before, okay? And in my opinion, I think the Russos are one of the greatest directors in history off of their film slate alone, and the numbers speak for itself. So Jerry, I will, just tell me how you feel about this, and just tell me how you feel about the Russos in general.
We are very experienced fans. And I'm not just talking about me and Stevie, I'm talking about you. We have lived through the MCU for a long time now, and we have seen a lot of ups and recently quite few too many downs, and the Russos are a major asset. And we've learned what happens when you take an asset off the board when it's kind of unnecessary and the risks of doing something like that. The Russos are still young, they're still working. There was never any good reason that the Russos weren't going to do Avengers 5 and Avengers 6. The 007 franchise was brilliant when they brought Martin Campbell back to do uh, Casino Royale. He did GoldenEye, which was the first movie of Pierce Brosnan's tenure. And this is just huge. I mean, just yesterday we were talking about the guy that I already forgot his name that is directing.
Michael Waldron,
No, not Michael Waldron. The guy that's
Sean
directing.
Sean Levy.
No, no, the guy that's directing Captain America for Brave New World. So, the guy who's from Nigeria, it looks like he is doing a good job with it. But, we were talking about maybe he'll do Avengers 5. And now the next day, we know for a fact that the Russos are doing it, which is just so crazy. This is so big. Marvel is in their bag right now. We're about to get Deadpool and Wolverine. Then we're going to get Captain America, Brave New World. Then we're going to be getting Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four. Okay. Marvel is about to have a major hot streak, and I am just so excited about it. There is nobody on this planet that was going to do a better job than the Russos could have done in Avengers 5 and Avengers 6, which is Secret Wars. And Secret Wars has the potential to be the greatest comic book movie of all time, period. So glad the Russo brothers are back. Stevie, what do you got?
I echo everything you say. I mean, the Russos are the reason why the Iron Man and Spider-Man relationship was very pivotal in the Infinity Saga, which is not really something that you would have thought, would be a thing. They're the reason why Captain America is a universal character. They did the Winter Soldier, which to me and you is arguably the greatest comic book film of all time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so you know, they have the track of it. And to be honest, it seems like Marvel let the Russos go because they wanted to show the world that they didn't need them. But the reality is that what did Thanos say? Where did your failures bring you? back to me. Right?
Yeah.
That's the reality, bro.
Right
I
back to
mean,
me.
yeah, bro. And and Feige, I'm sorry to tell you, bro, the Russos are your make it or break it when it comes to these big films. And to be honest, they should have been in the fold. I think they should have even done the Fantastic Four one. And then if they write the blueprint, then you bring another guy to do Fantastic Four 2, or whatever you want. And this opens and with the fact that they are talking about them to be the helm for a lot of projects. What does this make you think, Jerry? Because this must mean that they're going to be involved with the X-Men to some degree, and
Yeah.
also they are going to be involved with the Fantastic Four. And something that I thought that was awesome, Jerry, is that they have been becoming executive, like they're the executive producers of Brave New World. And in the director's world, when you get that role of being a producer, that really boosts up a lot of your, cred in the entertainment space. And so if they get a lot of these, producer roles in these films like a Fantastic Four, that will be a big deal. But I really believe, Jerry, in my heart, that it is not just Avengers. I think they're doing the X-Men. There is no way you bring back these guys and you don't attach them to that. And I think that they're going to use them to launch this new era of the MCU with the freaking mutants. And if that is true, get your gears prepared, guys.
They are perfect for X-Men because, it's almost like, not that the Russos get overlooked, but sometimes, it's not easy to work with so many characters and so much talent. Like Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, a lot of fans overlook, how difficult it was to manage the Heat during LeBron's tenure with that much talent and to be so successful with them. And I think that when you're working with as much talent as you are in a crossover type MCU movie, especially with all these different characters like the X-Men, it does make sense to give them the helm of the X-Men. And here's the thing that I also think. I think that they are going to, obviously we know they're going to be doing Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 Secret Wars, but I do think that they are going to find another place where they really want to play, and I think that's going to be the X-Men. Kind of how they did with Captain America, they did Winter Soldier, and they did Civil War. And, it's crazy because a lot of people consider those movies better than Infinity War and Endgame. It's kind of a toss-up for me depending on the day. But, what's also crazy is, up until today, we have always said that the future of the MCU rides on the Fantastic Four. And I still believe that that movie is integral, but it's not like, it doesn't mean as much as it used to, because before we didn't know that we were going to have all these other projects that were going to be delivered in the level of quality that only the Russos could make. And it seemed like if the Fantastic Four wasn't going to work out to be a top level MCU movie, that there wasn't anyone else that would be able to fill the void that Iron Man and Captain America left. But with the X-Men coming in, with the Russos, I mean, there are a lot of other areas of excitement other than the Fantastic Four at this point. And that's that's what's important. So the Fantastic Four is still very important, but it's not the only major exciting project coming up other than an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
And that is the important piece.
Yeah. I believe that when Feige said last week that the era of the X-Men starts now, I think that's when everything changed. I think that's when the Fantastic Four became the second most, focus, property that they have. And also,
I don't know about that. I wouldn't
what
say that the X-Men is more. I don't think that the X-Men are more important than the Fantastic Four.
For their future, the X-Men is for sure.
Bro, we've had, like a full X-Men franchise before. We've never had a successful Fantastic Four franchise ever. So I'm still more excited for the Fantastic Four than I am the
X-Men
X-Men.
franchise that most fans were divided on, though, and it wasn't done the way that the MCU is going to do it, And I mean, and the reality is the X-Men is bigger than the Fantastic Four, and and I'm a big Fantastic Four guy, and I like the Fantastic Four more than the X-Men. But I'm saying to the greater fandom, they're going to run to an X-Men movie by the MCU more than a Fantastic Four film. I expect X-Men 1 to do more box office than the Fantastic Four. And I think the Fantastic Four film is going to be good because I like Matt, Shackman that's working on the film. But topic for
I don't think that's a fair comparison because
what?
X-Men have had so many movies that to the casuals they are.
That's why I'm saying that the X-Men is going to be more popular, by default. But if the Russos are on the X-Men, I just expect the movie to be levels above, what the Fantastic Four is going to be.
Yeah.
And that's just the facts. But I am really excited for the future, and Comic-Con's next week, guys. Comic-Con is next week,
which is crazy that they announced this today when Comic-Con is next week. Like, I'm happy that they did, but why do you think they announced it today and didn't wait till next week at Comic-Con?
I don't know, man. I don't know. They have a lot going on. Like I know they have a separate panel for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I know that they said that there's a Thunderbolts trailer ready for Comic-Con. So my brother, we got a lot of work to do next week. But all in all, man, we are so excited with what the MCU is doing, and with the Russos coming back, this puts a lot on the table. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of people out there. Shout out to the Cosmic Circus. We actually report a lot of their rumors. They called this months ago, so shout out to them. Also, shout out to Josh from the Dead and Nerds because he's been probably the main champion on YouTube for the Russos to come back. And Jerry and I would love to say that we call this, but we were kind of on the fence about them coming back. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, it's funny because did you see what I posted to my story from Jeff? So shout out to my guy at Heat410 on Instagram. So Jeff is a guy that we met online to the early screening of The Flash. And he did say at that day, he was like, I'm telling you, the Russo brothers are going to come back for the next Avengers movies. He called it. He was right. Got to give the kid his credit. I thought they were done. I thought that they wanted to, use that kind of as a platform to do Oscar type of movies. I don't know. I just feel like people in the industry always want their Oscars. I think Oscars are stupid. I think that, the way they're selected, I don't even think that they're picked based on whether the movie is actually the better movie. I think the whole thing is a sham. But I think people in the business care about them and do hold them, do really value those kinds of awards, especially the Oscars. But maybe they just love Marvel. Maybe they just wanted to do it again because
they just don't care.
And they probably definitely are getting paid a whopping sum of cash.
Yeah. Because
now they are proven. They are battle tested. They are worth a lot more today than they were when they were hired to make Infinity War and Endgame. Because at this point, Infinity War and Endgame have already come out and have been majorly successful.
Yes. And one more rumor that was addressed and was that so the main writers for these movies that the Russos did were Christopher Marcus, Stephen McFeely. The rumor is that one of them might be coming back.
Okay.
Which is another really big thing because these movies were written to perfection. So this is a really big deal, guys. This is a really big deal. And this gives leeway for the OGs to come back. Just saying. Chris Evans, he's signed sealed because the Russos made him big.
I wouldn't go there yet.
I'm going there. I think Chris Evans is coming back. RDJ, he's basically talked about it. He wants to come back. He said it. He said it on live interviews. So yeah, I'm not saying that they're walking out at Comic-Con, But don't be shocked if we start hearing mad rumors that Marvel's in actual live talks with them as we speak about them coming back.
Yeah, I do think it's more possible than before, especially with this new development about the Russos. The other thing is, now that we know that the mutants are coming at the same time as the Fantastic Four, we know Marvel is not afraid to go full throttle, all out, balls to the wall. I'm just gonna say it,
Yeah.
because I thought they were gonna wait till after Secret Wars, then bring in the X-Men, so it's not too much going on at once. They have a lot going on at once, and they're doing the Thunderbolts, and
Yeah.
they still have the Eternals. So they are not holding back. They are going all out, and I have to say, before we always said that Marvel is not in the best position. DCU is coming in at the perfect time when Marvel's a little vulnerable. That's not the case anymore. And iron sharpens iron. It is a good thing that the DCU and MCU are both going to be firing at all the cylinders. Competition breeds innovation, and that breeds success. When you know your competitor is upping their game, it makes you have to up your game. And that is good for us, the fans, because we are going to be getting higher quality entertainment from both Marvel and DC at the same time. And it's finally the movie. It's going to feel like we are living in the world that we should be as comic book movie fans.
Yeah.
And that's what we were robbed of from DC because of people like Zack Snyder and the cultists online. And they are going to have to live on their little corner on Twitter and pretend that Zack Snyder was the greatest thing ever when we have James Gunn's DCU and the Russos doing Avengers movies. So we're the winners in this.
Yeah. And think about this, right? You have a protege of Feige, as in James Gunn, building kind of what Feige did, And so we're getting two full universes of things, and James Gunn is doing it his way, where he's going to connect the games and all that. And Feige's doing it his way, where he's going to connect, the Disney Plus shows. And I mean, and as I always say, because we keep our word, any news that comes out, we will be covering it closely.
Yeah,
we'll keep you guys in the loop with what's going on.
We're going to be faster, and we are going to be covering when there's a development like this. It's not. We're not just going to wait for our usual Tuesday live stream. We're going to come to you as
next day.
No Diddy, as quick as we can.
yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, no Diddy that one, guys. So guys, we love that word. It's hilarious. We just can't stop.
It's so fun. Yeah.
Pause was funny, but this is way better. Yeah. And you're from New York, so it's probably even more hilarious.
It is.
So, all right, y'all. We're going to end it here. We hope you guys got something out of this. Please leave a comment. Do you like this? Do you like the Russo comeback? And to be honest, if you don't, I might just block you. I'm kidding. But if you don't like this, or like why, please explain why.
And do you think the MCU now has a leg up on the DCU, or do you think the DCU is going to be in better shape than the MCU, even with the Russos?
So please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. Next week is Deadpool week. We have a Deadpool comic book breakdown coming out Sunday. Monday we have a Deadpool compilation over an hour about all with every single coverage of Deadpool that we've done. So stay tuned for those. Have a great day, guys, and peace out.